boots. You know, normally I don't have that much to say about footwear or clothing or whatever else, especially for my channel, but a good pair of boots I really do care about, especially when I'm going to be hiking or treading on trails that are, you know, they're hardly trails, or they're really rocky, or they just have a lot of risky, slippery spots. And I kind of beat up shoes a lot, and that's why I haven't had a lot to say about them. I've just gone through a lot of shoes and boots in my time, and super disappointed with most of them, especially at the cost. I had heard of Palladium, and I thought, isn't that like a fashion boot company or something? And yes and no would be the answer. So this Palladium started out with some military contracts for boots, and then they did kind of do like a fashion stint. They still have a lot of fashiony kind of boots out there, and they do some interesting things. But the thing I'll tell you is I've been using these for hiking for the last couple years. I'm going over, I don't know, I'm probably like 16 months. That's more accurate, like 16 months. I've been using these, and they're really, really durable. I'm actually surprised. The glue has held up really well in there, and that toe cap, that was kind of one of my concerns with these types of rubber bottoms. The toe cap itself has held up really good. Not too much crease in there at all. Really, really good traction. When I'm climbing around rocks like I was today, the places I was going, it's, you know, it's not a lot, but it's a little bit of rock climbing, like vertical up and down climbing. And you need a boot that has some tread for both trail and that kind of rock. And it's got to be the right kind of like rubber, that texture and density and that kind of stuff. It does kind of matter with this if you're going to be comfortable. I've used these for many, many miles. On one particular trip, I did 30 miles with these just between 2 days. And so like 15 miles in a day for me, I know a lot of people, through hikers, they've done that plenty of times. For me, it was huge. 15 miles was a lot. It was grueling. I was extremely tired by the time it was over. And these didn't hurt my feet. That was the best part about it. Now I do wear a higher sock with it, because otherwise this would chafe your foot. You're gonna have to wear at least an ankle sock with it, but they didn't chafe. They were very, very comfortable. They breathe good. It was in the summer when I was hiking. It was actually like 75 or 80 degrees out, which is just too hot to be, in Minnesota that's hot, okay? Right now it's 80 degrees, and that's too hot for Minnesota. But these boots breathe really, really well. They didn't stink afterwards, which is kind of surprising. I think they just ventilate a little better than some other boots out there. I haven't like gotten a bunch of holes in them when I've been kicking stuff around all the time, and you know, like moving rocks out of the way, or using them when I'm working on projects outside. I use them for just about everything. They're kind of my beater boot. And these particular ones, I paid, let's see, I think I paid $60 for these because they were on sale. They're a little funky for some people because they have this pocket in the back, and they're like, what the heck is that for? Is that like a druggie pocket, like for marijuana or something? I don't do that kind of stuff, and I couldn't tell you. But for me, I've actually put a fire kit in the two of them. So in one, I have a fire steel and a striker, and the other, I put a little bit of rubber and some birch bark. And so stuff that starts when it's wet, and yes, I actually do use it sometimes. I think this boot is actually the most functional piece of gear I've had on my feet. I really, really like it. It's hard to put on and off fast. If that's something you need, you'll have to look elsewhere. These, just the way that they fit, it's not super quick to go on and off. So that's one thing. For me, if I'm using boots like this, I don't care if they're on and off quick. I'm gonna be wearing them for a long time. And the material is very comfortable, like I said. The thing with a toe cap here, I kind of prefer that because I'm always beating it up or kicking on rocks or something, and I've had shoes or boots that didn't have much rubber on the toe cap, and it actually becomes a wear point. And so I think it's a good idea to have this here. Not completely waterproof, but water resistant, and I've stepped in puddles and things like that early on and not had a bunch of water in my boot. Did pretty well there. It's just the right height for me in pretty much each season. You know, vegetation, there's a lot of poison ivy around here. I shouldn't be touching the bottom of this boot, honestly, because I walked through a bunch of poison ivy. But the poison ivy doesn't really get quite to my ankles, and in the spring it's not tall enough yet. So there's a little protection there. The bugs, you know, the bug kind of circulate around heat centers like your ankles, and so it protects my ankles from that sort of thing. Doesn't get all nicked up. So I just wanted to let you guys know, I've been using them for a couple years. I really like them. I think they're a high quality boot. I was surprised. I thought it was kind of a fashionista thing. Not so much. I actually think this is a good quality boot that is worth consideration. And if you can pick them up for the price that I did, You know, a lot of boots you could spend a lot more and they'll burn out on you faster. These are pretty durable. I like them. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop it down below. Otherwise, I'm gonna put this back on and I'm gonna get the heck out of here because it is hot in Minnesota today. All right, should I do it here? Yeah, that's pretty good lighting. Filming on the edge of a cliff has never been a bad idea for anybody else. Nothing bad has ever happened. All right, let's do it right here.